Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. We're here for halftime at the NCAA Division III National Championship game between Wisconsin-Oshkosh and Swarthmore. Wisconsin-Oshkosh leading this one, Andrew, 45-37 here at halftime. And I have to say, I mean, this game started out, I thought, Wisconsin-Oshkosh was blowing them away. Kind of a little unexpected for me. I thought this was going to be more of a back-and-forth matchup. But then, you get toward the later end of the half, and Swarthmore started to come back here, and that's why we have, a 8-point lead here for Wisconsin-Oshkosh. But, I mean, in the first 2 minutes, they started out with an 8-0 run just to start out. And then after that, they had at one point an 11-2 run. And so Wisconsin-Oshkosh, they were just going.
They're up by 15 at one point.
Yeah, up
in the
by
game.
15 at one point. And, I mean, they were rolling, spreading the ball out really well. Just looking at the stat sheet, everyone who's been in the game has scored except for one player for Wisconsin-Oshkosh. So, I mean, they're getting it done offensively. Swarthmore's defense just was not going very well in the first 10 minutes, I would say. But I'd say after about the 7-minute mark, then things started getting going for them, and they were able to come back in this one. And it was crazy to see Swarthmore struggling in the first half of the first half, because I mean, here I'm thinking they're gonna do everything they can defensively to not allow Wisconsin-Oshkosh to score, but yet the Titans were able to get scoring going, and Swarthmore just couldn't get going, and then they finally were able to do so. So, I mean, what are your first impressions here this first half?
My first impressions was the way that the game started is how I thought it was going to. Wisconsin-Oshkosh here last year, no butterflies. They're used to it, so all right, let's go out there and play our game like we have been. Swarthmore is not used to it. This is a whole new environment to them. This is the national championship. Nobody plays this every once in a while. This isn't like a weekly thing. This is maybe a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, except Wisconsin-Oshkosh, this is their second time. So when they start 8-0, I said, okay, well, if they can keep going like this, no doubt in my mind they're going to walk away national champions. But they can't. They have to keep building up on the lead and not let Swarthmore back into the game. Well, Swarthmore willed themselves back into it by three guys that we've talked about before the show, in the pregame. Odell, Schaefer, and Wiley. They're up there. I mean, Odell has 12 points. He's leading the team in scoring right now on 6 of 8 shooting. Wiley's at 9 points. And Schaefer, he's only got 2 points, but he has 4 rebounds. And he's battling with Jack Flynn. Jack Flynn, my player for player of the game, is improved me right so far. He's up to 15 points on 7 of 11 shooting. That's a very high percentage, obviously. And he only has 2 rebounds, but everyone else is doing the work for him. He's looking really good in the post down low. And like I talked about before the show, I was shocked to see that no one was collapsing and helping on Jack Flynn, as Jack Flynn is eating up Nate Schaefer down low right now.
Yeah, I mean, Wisconsin-Oshkosh, they're doing exactly what they did in their last game against Wheaton. They're spreading the ball around, not relying on one player. While Jack Flynn is leading with 15 points, he's also, spreading the ball around.
Well, Brett Richrow is
at exactly.
11.
And so, I mean, they're moving the ball very well, very effectively so far in this one. And, I mean, their field goal percentage right now, 59%. That's not too bad when you compare it to the 43% that Swarthmore is shooting right now. And, the problem for Swarthmore is beyond the arc, they're only 3 of 11, 27%. And, I mean...
Well, also another big problem I'm looking at right now, sorry to interrupt you, but they've allowed 30 points in the paint out of the 45 that have been scored by Wisconsin-Oshkosh. If you can't protect the paint, you're not going to be able to win. That's a high percentage looks right there.
Yeah, and I mean, that's a surprising statistic for me, because, I mean, we saw the defense of Swarthmore against Christopher Newport, and we're thinking, okay, this is going to be a really interesting matchup for to see the offense of Oshkosh and the defense of Swarthmore, but right now it just hasn't been, that big of a showing from Swarthmore. But again, I mean, you're looking at the 3-point percentage for Swarthmore, 27%, 3 of 11. You look at Oshkosh, they're 25%, but they've only shot it 4 times.
Because they know it's not going to work for them.
Exactly.
If you're going down low and you're getting Jack Flynn, who's shooting 7 for 11, which I can't see the percentage at the top of my head, but I know it's really high, you're just going to keep going down there, keep punching it down low, and especially when Swarthmore went on that run.
Yep.
You instantly saw the coach say, slow it down, get it down low to Jack, and watch Jack work. He gets a big bucket and start chipping away at this run that Swarthmore was on. And Swarthmore went on a 14-5 run there for a long time. It chipped away at the lead, and they were down at 15. That's impressive for me. I know Swarthmore's not going to go away. There's plenty of basketball left. I still think that Wisconsin Oshkosh is going to pull away with the win, but I still think Swarthmore is not going to go away.
Yeah, and another interesting note from last night, Wisconsin Oshkosh had the lead in that game for all but 17 seconds. 17 seconds they did not hold the lead against Wheaton. And right now, Swarthmore has not held the lead at all. So, I mean, that will be something to keep a look here. I mean, Swarthmore only down by 8. So, you know, can they keep something going here? They had momentum going into the half. Can they keep it going here?
I think that they have to keep going to Zach Odell at the moment and then keep going to Cam Wiley. And, you know, Zach Odell's going to keep working down low and trying to get the high percentage looks. But at one point, Jack Flynn's going to start guarding him. I would not be shocked if Coach went into the locker room and told Jack to go guard Zach Odell as soon as he got the ball, because Zach Odell is the only one that's willing his team back into the game. He's shooting 6 for 8 from the field. Wiley's 4 for 11. That's not a high percentage right there, but he's at 9 points. If you're allowing Wiley to take jumpers from behind the arc, that's fine. That's better than Zach Odell down low, apparently from looking at the stat sheets. Again, numbers can tell a story, but I'm still thinking that the fact that Oshkosh was here last year, they've been in this environment. They've been at those last 5 minutes of the game, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, when the pressure keeps coming in. They're used to this environment.
Yep.
Swarthmore is going to have to adjust to it and hope they adjust fast. Because if they don't, they're going to find themselves on the short end of the stick.
Yeah, and I want to take a moment here. Earlier this evening, the D3 Hoops released the All-America team. Several players are on that team from this Final Four matchups today, yesterday and today. First team All-American, Aston Francis, well deserved. I mean, averaging 34 points, dropped 44 last night against Wisconsin Oshkosh. Definitely well deserving there. Ben Boots from Oshkosh is on there as well.
End of the first half of the national championship with a buzzer beater on the floater.
Yep, first team All-Americans, those two. Third team All-American, you got Cam Wiley from Swarthmore, Zach Odell from Swarthmore. And then on the fourth team, you have Jack Flynn from Oshkosh. And then honorable mention, you have Marcus Carter from Christopher Newport, who we saw play last night.
And a small note for HDHC, Cam Fales from Hanover made the fourth team. So that's always good to see the HDAC being represented.
Yeah, and Player of the Year, I mean, it's obvious. Aston Francis out of Wheaton. What can you say? Leads all divisions in points per game. Dropped 44 again last night. I mean, no one more deserving, I would say.
I mean, he also almost averaged 8 rebounds a game, which is impressive for a guy that's only 6'1". Mm-hmm. So you know that guy really stepped up for his team this year, got him all the way to the Final Four, and he fell short to a team that was just better than them last night. And, you know, he scored 44 teams on – I mean, he's not a very efficient scorer, but, you know, the offense is going to run through him, and he has the confidence to keep shooting. We call that Mamba mentality. Even though you can be shooting 20, 30%, even less than that, you're still going to go out there and shoot your shot and be confident in yourself.
Now, I mean, I'll ask you, I mean, Oshkosh went up against a player who scored 44 points on them last night. Does that help them in this game?
Yes. Because it teaches you to be physical and to keep a mark on the best player on the team. And there's nobody else in the nation that is as good at scoring the basketball as Aston Francis. And right now, Zach Odell is being their Aston Francis. He's being the thorn on their side. He's scoring the basket. So you know what? I think they're going to start doing what they did to Francis last night and be skin tight. Like I said last night, Oshkosh was going to try and find out what type of gum Aston Francis was chewing last night. I think they're going to do that to Zach Odell because right now he's the best player.
All right, well, that's going to end our halftime show here. The team's coming back out, getting ready to start the second half of play. We will be here for a post-game show, so you want to stay tuned to our Twitter page to find out when we will be going live. It'll be following this game here. We want to encourage you to check out the MU Sports Podcast on Spartan Stream, as well as the Chetplex Wrestling Podcast on Spartan Stream. Again, we encourage you to please check those out and see what they're all about. I mean, they're pretty exciting stuff on there. And
put some time into that.
Yeah, put some time into that. About 2 weeks, me and Andrew will be giving our predictions for WrestleMania 35. So you want to check that out on the Chetplex Wrestling Podcast. So, again, head over to Spartan Stream, see what we have to offer. We've got some great stuff coming out in the future. So give us a look. We really appreciate it. Andrew, any last thoughts here before we go into the second half?
We are 20 minutes away from crowning the national champions. Oh, man, I can't be more excited right now.
Me neither. All right, well, that's going to end our halftime show. Thank you for watching. And again, we'll be back for a post-game show right after this game. You can check out the live stream from CBS Sports right there at the top of your screen, and that will be a way for you to watch the game. And then, again, stay tuned to our Twitter so you can see when we're going to be going live for the post-game show. Thank you for watching, and we'll be back in a little bit.